Hello and welcome, dear viewers. We are here with one more presentation for you. This is for class 7th, subject geography, and the topic is changing landforms. This is part 2nd of the presentation prepared by Taslim Arif, DRP, Diet Gandharbal. In this presentation, we'll be talking about the work of sea waves, work of glacier, and much more. So let's have it, dear viewers. As we saw early in first presentation, different landforms are created by either endogenetic processes, endogenetic forces, or exogenic forces. So in exogenic forces, we are talking of agents of gradation. First, we must know what gradation is. Gradation means leveling of Earth. It's aggradation and degradation. At some places there is erosion and at other places there is deposition. This total process of erosion and deposition is called as gradation. There are agents involved for this very process. Those agents are called as agents of gradation. We have work of water there, we have work of glacier there, we have work of sea waves there, we have work of wind there. Earlier, in early presentation, we talked about the work of a river. Now, in this presentation, we'll be talking about first work of sea waves. Now, the erosion and deposition of sea waves gives rise to coastal landforms. Due to sea waves, hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. Here in this picture, you can see when the rock stratum along the coast is continuously struck by waves. These portions close to the ground are eroded. First, small cracks are formed, then these cracks are widened, and the second formation is cave. When these caves are further deepened and eroded, these give birth to the formation of arches. When the arches are completely eroded in between, then stake is formed, means the rock and this rock. It was connected by a roof, by an arch. When this arch got continuously eroded by the action of sea waves, then the connection between these two separated and this rock stood separate as stake. When this stake is further eroded, it will give to the formation of stump. That's how erosion of waves take place. As cavities become bigger in size, only the roof of caves remain, thus forming sea arches, as is here. The erosion further breaks the roof and only walls remain called as stakes. These are called as stakes. The steep rocky coast rising almost vertically above the seawater is called a sea cliff. Sea waves also give rise to the formation of beats, a plain topographical features. There are different features formed by the action of sea waves. Here, if you are able to see, these are called platforms. Yani waves deposited coastal platforms. The material which is eroded here, it gets deposited over there along the banks of ocean. These are called as platforms. So, like platforms, we have beaches, we have bays, we have headlands, we have stakes and stumps. These are erosional and depositional features of sea waves. Now let's move forward. We'll talk of work of ice. You know what glaciers are? Glaciers means moving ice. When ice is accumulated along the steep slope on the mountains, then the underlying rock stratum is having continuous accumulation on it of the huge volume of ice. Then the huge volume of ice starts coming down under the impact of gravitation and other forces. When the ice starts moving, it erodes the landscape by bulldozing soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. ये अपने साथ सारा मटेरियल नीचे खींच लाता, अपने साथ उसको ले आता है नीचे. और the place, the portion of that moment of ice, what's called as glacier, gives valley, rise to the formation of a valley that's called a U-shaped valley. यानी वहां पे इस कदर एरोजन होता है, एक वैली क्रिएट हो जाती है, उसको हम यू शेप्ड वैली कहते हैं, ग्लेशियल वैली उसको कहते हैं. अब इसके साथ छोटी रॉक्स भी होती है. The glacier has the tendency, has the capacity to carry with it small rocks, big rocks, whatever comes in its way, it's all accumulated and taken away. And when it comes down in the plains, the glacier melts gradually. When it melts, the deposition remains there, and that deposition is called as moraine. So I may repeat here, the depositional feature of glacier is called moraine. In this picture, you can see different features formed. We have eskers, we have drumlin field, we have cattle lake, we have end moraine, we have outwash plain, we have cattle lakes, we have this bedrock. And this means the work of glacier can give birth to different landform features. Then we have work of wind. When we talk of wind, what comes to our mind is the desert area. In desert area, since there is less wind breaking force in the form of trees, so the moment of wind is more there. And we must know that when we talk of wind, it means moving air. The erosional and depositional features of wind form different landforms, especially in deserts. One such landform, the depositional landform, is in the form of sand dunes, and the erosional landform is in the form of mushroom rocks. You see this rock. When wind blows, it blows at a very faster speed. Along the ground, this wind carries with it a tool in the form of sand particles. When these sand particles collide with these rocks continuously, thereby creating lot of erosion along the ground of these rocks. That's how this mushroom type structure is created. And due to fast blowing wind, especially in deserts, the rocks are eroded along the ground, thus forming mushroom like structures, which we can see here in this picture. And big mountains of sand are created when there is decrease in the speed of wind along the wind breaking forces. Those are called as sand dunes. What we see here as sand dunes. Then this was all about landform features. Now assessment. Fill in the blanks. The lithosphere is broken down into a number of dash. The place in the crust where the movement starts is called. Glaciers are rivers of dash. Short answer type questions. Differentiate between endogenic and exogenic processes. What's a volcano? What are oxbow lakes? And orally, it's not written here. I may ask you a few more questions which you would like to answer. Write short note on erosional and depositional features of sea waves, glaciers, and wind. I repeat, write short notes on the erosional and depositional features of sea waves, glaciers, and wind. This was all about this presentation. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay blessed.